Welcome back, YouTubers, to another Smackdown review of us, the British Fist.
Ka-ching.
And I'm Mr. Parkin, wearing my England shirt for today. But this guy sitting next to me, he's more patriotic than I. He doesn't need to wear an England shirt. It's NJ!
What's up?
What's up, NJ, and what's up to you guys? Make sure you guys subscribe up above up there, like this video, and get your comments on Smackdown down in that comment section below.
And please make sure you contact us, the British Fist, in the contacts, in the link in the description box below.
Indeedly doodly doodly. Right then. First thing I want to talk about here, NJ, is we've noticed there has been some news that SmackDown attendances have been very low, and it's not really a surprise with SmackDown at the moment. The quality of the show hasn't been great. It's not really a surprise that SmackDown attendances have been low, really, is it?
No, because obviously the writing's not been helping the show to improve anyway, so I think that's basically the writer's fault here.
And the fact that it's a B show too, let's not forget.
No, that's the biggest thing, yes.
But anyway, shall we go on to this review? Because people want to know our thoughts on SmackDown, don't they? We open up with all the superstars gathered around the ring with John Laurinaitis talking in the middle of the ring. Basically, he's discussing the issues that Triple H has, lost control of the WWE. I don't understand, why is Laurinaitis on TV or on the mic? He's so bad on the mic, and he doesn't even have the look of an authority guy, does he?
And basically, he's talking about Raw, and I'm thinking, okay, good way to start off SmackDown talking about Raw, so yeah, thanks for that, Laurinaitis.
I would have liked to have Mark Henry open the show, but he did introduce Mark Henry. At least the Laurinaitis stuff was short. That's the only good thing I can really say about that. It's just not good having him introduce the show because it just doesn't work, does it, with Laurinaitis?
Not at all, not at all.
At least he introduces Mark Henry as our World Champion, and he says how everyone didn't believe. You didn't believe. You definitely didn't believe. You didn't believe, and you didn't believe, and you didn't believe, and you definitely did not believe. Neither did I, so I didn't believe either. And all of a sudden Triple H comes out.
And the thing about this, I'm thinking, yes, he's coming out to have his talk with the new World Heavyweight Champion.
But Christian interferes.
But
sorry, I thought I'd be a little metaphor there in the interviewing you. Christian interferes and basically wants one more match. And Triple H makes Christian versus Mark Henry later in a Lumberjack match. It's like, why are they making this match? Christian has had his rematch for the title. What has he done to earn another rematch? It just really begs to differ, doesn't it? Especially when you have heel versus heel in the main event. It just doesn't fucking work.
No, and after reading what we like to know as spoilers, we heard that obviously we are going to have this whole opening and this whole Triple H thing. I was really hoping the spoilers weren't going to tell us that Triple H was going to explain why Christian was going to get this one more match, but no, he just gave it to him.
Do you know one thing that really annoys me today is the fact that you've just had a Christian and Sheamus promo at the pay-per-view, and you're not really focusing too much on their feud. You're going with Christian and Henry, and really you need to be intensifying that Randy Orton and Mark Henry feud going into the pay-per-view. It just seems a little bit muddled up, in my opinion, this whole opener.
Yeah, it wasn't the best opener, but then again, it has gave us the main event, as we say, every week.
Yay! Hooray! And we didn't see Teddy Long. Oh, we did at maybe ringside, but he cut a very undaunting figure at there. But anyway, we'll go on to the next match, which is Heath Slater versus Sheamus. And take your guess at who won this one.
The match I wanted to see.
Ginger versus Ginger.
What exciting match.
This match went on for 4 minutes, and I guess, looking at it in the grand scheme of things, it made Sheamus look strong, which I guess was the whole point of this segment. It's just a little bit frustrating, like I said, when you've just had Christian and Sheamus have a promo at the pay-per-view, like as if to say this feud is very prominent, and they're not really interacting too much on the show, and you really want them to build this feud so they can put Sheamus over and then challenge Mark Henry for this World Heavyweight Championship, which I think is what they're going to do.
Yeah, so giving Heath Slater the winner of Sheamus doesn't really make any sense.
Well, to be honest, they're both ginger, so who knows?
Yeah, but even though Heath Slater did not win, Sheamus won!
Sheamus got the win, of course. We knew he was going to get the win. He looked strong, so I guess in that way, if you look at it like that, the segment was quite effective.
It was indeed.
Right then, shall we move on now?
We'll go on to the next thing, yes.
Next match was Wade Barrett versus Justin Gabriel. Now, at least, I will say one thing. At least this does have some kind of point, because they were in that tag team match last week, and Justin Gabriel got the win on Wade Barrett, so that kind of makes sense as to why they're doing this. I just wish that when they do things like this, I would get the feeling that they're going to be involved in a feud, and it's not just going to be random filler match, which I feel this is going to be. And this seemed like a random filler match, didn't it?
Again, I know they had that match last week, so maybe you do quite possibly see why this match happened.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing it's okay in that aspect, but obviously we want Wade Barrett to actually start getting someone on SmackDown and putting him in this match. Him and Justin Gabriel are not going to go anywhere.
No, not really. But the fact it got 2.5 minutes, which is nowhere near enough time to put much effect in a segment. It got 2.5 minutes. I don't mind Barrett winning if I knew it's going to go somewhere, maybe into a feud, but I know it's not going to. That's not how SmackDown writers work. The right guy won, though. Barrett had to win this. Even though I feel that Justin Gabriel needs to be pushed as a face and needs to be exposed, I still think Barrett needed to get the win here, despite the fact it was essentially a squash.
Yeah, if they made Justin Gabriel win, maybe there's a chance they could have done something great with Justin Gabriel down the line. But Wade Barrett needs to win if he's going to, hopefully, fingers crossed, going to the main event.
Do you know what annoys me about this? Is the fact that these guys have so much history with Nexus and the Core, and they didn't even play off that, did they?
No.
That's kind of what they needed. But yeah, not a very good segment, really. Just did not get enough time. We then got a Hell in a Cell video package. Basically, WWE showing us what we're not going to expect at Hell in a Cell.
It was showing us all the great matches that we had. Like, there was Triple H, there was all these wrestlers that are no longer in Hell in a Cells. There was Jericho, Shawn Michaels. And now we're not going to get the excitement, the thrill of that. So now the next year video package, they'll be showing what we're going to be getting this year.
Probably. It seemed to me, all I say is, at least they're hyping this pay-per-view with video segments. The trouble is, it's more concentrating on the match type rather than the pay-per-view itself, even though the match type is the pay-per-view. But I guess I kind of like the fact they're at least giving video packages for the pay-per-view. It's good, isn't it? Even if you know you're not going to expect what you see on that video package.
I want to say it's good, but the video package shows great Hell in a Cell matches.
We're not going to get one.
And now we're going to get something that's watered down, I'm going to say.
We're getting the first ever Hell in a Cell triple threat, so look forward to that, people. We got Beth Phoenix and Natalya versus AJ and Kaitlyn as our next match. And was it me or did we see this last week?
It was a repetitive match. I'm thinking, oh dear, okay. The thing about this, it's like another squash match for the Divas of Doom. Even though they had AJ doing somewhat decent in this match, Beth Phoenix lays her out, so a win for the Divas of Doom.
The match got 2 minutes. It was essentially a squash match, but I guess if you are going to keep going with Beth Phoenix and Natalya as this Divas Doom, you do have to reinforce it with wins. It's just a shame they can't make them beat Kelly at Night of Champions. But at least it does the job of making Beth Phoenix and Natalya look strong. And that's pretty much what the segment was for. It was short and sweet, and it just did that. And that's what they need to do. They need to intertwine it with Kelly a little bit more, I feel.
Stay positive, and yes, that was what happened.
Yes, so let's hope Beth Phoenix beats Kelly sooner or later, because I really hope she does.
For a third time, that's not going to be in her hometown anymore. Let's move on from that.
So yeah, the next segment we get, again, is something we've seen 3 times now. Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. And the first thing I'll say here is, you know, Cody Rhodes is your Intercontinental Champion. Don't you want to be, like, pushing him? I mean, they've done a great job of it. Cody Rhodes has been a good Intercontinental Champion, but it's just that I think they should separate his segments from Orton, even though they gave him the win by DQ.
But the way I'm going to see it is that, yes, they're giving you a possible what's going to happen in the future, Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. But at the minute, he's the IC champ, so he should be against mid-carders, giving them the taste of what's to come from their matches. Like, for example, Ted versus Cody.
And we didn't see Ted DiBiase tonight, apart from as a lumberjack. So, you know, we've seen this match now 3 times. All I say is at least 2 of them have been unclean finishes. So at least I can say that there wasn't a clean finish tonight, which was good because I don't want to see a clean finish for this match yet. I think this is one of those matches you want to have down the road as a feud, which ends up finishing clean.
And snip. Right at the end of the match, it gets cut, and we do not get to see the big bloody match.
Yeah, because we're not in the Attitude Era anymore.
No.
I did like the way in this match Rhodes went after the knee that Mark Henry injured. It's just a shame that Orton didn't sell it that much.
No, and the whole thing is the match ends at DQ, and then obviously they decide to bury Cody Rhodes with the whole...
If we saw the announcer table spot, it would have been buried, really buried. But the fact that we didn't see it kind of says to me, well, okay, he's not buried too much. They're trying to show this whole Orton's anger thing again. And like, does it have to come at the expense of Cody Rhodes? Because you not just have Rhodes run out the ring or something like that, and then Orton being frustrated or something, you know? Again,
they should really stop with this anger side of Randy Orton now, because he's gone past being a heel.
Yeah, and it's just like, I really wish they'd use someone else as this kind of filler to sort of get this character of Orton's nailed, do you know what I mean? Rather than the Intercontinental Champion. Like we saw Sin Cara versus Sin Cara with Cody Rhodes as filler. This is essentially your Intercontinental Champion being filler once again. It's just like, come on, WWE, give your Intercontinental some push or some exposure that we'd like to see.
That's very true.
Next match then.
Carly versus Jinder Mahal.
You know what, NJ? Carly is a face again. I'm sorry. I just can't. I just don't like it. It sucks. And he squashes Jinder Mahal in 2 minutes. And it's like, who really gives a shit? Really? No one.
Nothing at all. So moving on to a match that was meant to be a lot better.
Oh, what? Even though we've already seen this, 3 times now?
We have.
Sin Cara versus Daniel Bryan. And once again, Daniel Bryan. Yes, people, your Money in the Bank winner for SmackDown, the guy who is probably going to win the title at a future time, maybe, is filler for a Sin Cara and Sin Cara feud. Now, while I don't mind the Sin Cara feud, I really wish they'd just go at it a different way and not involve Bryan Danielson as filler and have Daniel Bryan in his own feud, which is going to help him get over, not only with the crowd, but as a main event guy. It just really isn't helping.
There was a taste in this match that maybe they're still opening the door for Sin Cara versus Daniel Bryan, because the original Sin Cara knocks down Hunico off the top rope.
Oh, no, I thought it was the way around, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit confusing.
Yeah, because they look exactly the same.
And then he jumps off, does the pin, 1, 2, 3. So they may be giving us a taste that they could continue with the Sin Cara and Daniel Bryan later on, but it is filler at the moment. Even
though the match was 3 minutes long, the finish I thought was quite unique in the sense that they can use that to their advantage. I thought the finish was okay. The heel Sin Cara interferes and then looks like the face Sin Cara getting the win. It was kind of nice how they did that. It was something different, but it was 3 minutes long. And again, it continued the theme throughout the night that matches just didn't get enough time. And we didn't see any promo segments tonight, apart from the opener. Why can't we change some of these matches into promo segments, which might help develop some storylines? It's just an idea.
But the great thing about this now, after all those matches that we had with short time and not so good, this match was actually the one we were looking forward to. Yeah, well, I mean, I know I was. The Usos versus Air Boom, a tag team match which I think is made for SmackDown. Tag team champions versus the Usos, who are a very generic tag team. The thing I want to say about this match is that we've got, it seems like 2 phases now, when Usos used to be a heel team. So I'm thinking this match, again, took away some of the thinking, which team do we want to go for? But I'm glad that the Airboom got the win. Yeah, but the referee didn't see the tag, so it's still you. No, I'm only joking. Basically, even though I wanted to see this match, it got 3.5 minutes. It's like, I really think these guys could have gone on longer. Airboom get the win, so I guess it's giving the tag team champions a win. There's not really much I can say about it. It's just another random match throwing their typical SmackDown, really, isn't it? Even though I kind of wanted to see it, it just didn't really have much effect because it's just so fucking random. So if at Hell in a Cell, if we are going to have a tag team match, who are ever meant to be facing? Raw, they were facing Mike McCullough and David Otunga. Yeah. On SmackDown, they're facing the Usos. Maybe they're not going to have a tag team match, but I'm just saying they're getting a bit confused on where they're going to go next. It's just an example again of... Sorry, I forgot to tag. It's just another example again of SmackDown using filler for their show, isn't it? You know what they used to do, like with, say, Del Rio and Daniel Bryan? Just using filler for their show. That's essentially what this is. It doesn't continue many storylines. It just makes the champions look strong. So I guess in that sense it is effective. But in terms of a storyline sense, we don't really know where they're going with the tag champs, which is kind of a bad thing, especially when you're trying to re-establish those tag titles. Very true. That is how it goes, yes. Right then. So then we get to our main event of the evening. Christian versus Mark Henry in a Lumberjack match for the Welterweight Championship. You may now speak, NJ. Thank you very much. The thing I want to say about this is that backstage we get to see the promos of Christian trying to find help. Can I have your help for my match against Mark Henry later tonight? Because I can't beat him on my own because I'm Christian and I'm small. And do you want a smaller guy? How dare you say I'm that small, NJ? That is not very nice. Carly spoke English. Carly spoke English. But the thing is, he went to all the faces to get his help from. Yeah. Not one heel, it's all faces. But then it got to the match, and no one really wanted to help him. Not me. No one wanted to help him at all. It was good in this match how Mark Henry laid out every fucking lumberjack. He just 10 people just laid everyone out. It continues to make him look strong. I still don't understand why Christian got this match, but Sheamus runs in and Christian runs in and rolls Christian into the ring so Mark Henry can win. It got 6 minutes. Again, it wasn't very long, but I guess it gets Christian out of the way with now, so Orton can get in there, and Orton had the aftermath as well. So it did. So now it's ended the Christian thing. So I'm hoping SmackDown realised that Christian's had his one more match, and now Mark Henry can go on and face Orton at Hell in a Cell. What did you think of the match itself, though? It was all right. It's just they didn't get enough time. They got the Lumberjack involved, which a Lumberjack we haven't seen in a while, so I'm glad they made use of that. They made Mark Henry look strong in a Lumberjack, which we think was a brilliant idea. Yeah. And the match itself, again, the ending made Chris Rock a chick like he has been for the last couple of weeks, so I give that. Yeah, so overall, we get the right winner.
And we even got a little bit of interaction between Sheamus and Christian, I guess, which is a positive, but just not enough, in my opinion, for a feud which is going to potentially be as big as that. After the match, Orton drop kicks Mark Henry to the outside, so again, we're revisiting Orton being on top. But I guess after all the times Mark Henry has been on top, he kind of does need to get on top at least once.
But at least it didn't bury Mark Henry. It wasn't like an RKO or a weapon usage. They actually let Mark Henry go out and stand strong.
Yeah, Mark Henry is more than Cody Rhodes in Randy Orton's mind, eh?
That is.
Right, what are your overall thoughts on the show? And please give me a grade.
Okay, I went blue to try and support SmackDown, but I wish I didn't.
Well, I've got a blue shirt and red too. So I'm
so again, maybe I shouldn't have worn blue because SmackDown was not good this week.
It really wasn't.
My grade, because obviously I don't really want to go over the show because there's nothing really special about it. I'm just going to give it a C.
Are you going to say minus? Or...
I'm so close to saying that, man. I'm so close.
Well, if you want my thoughts on the show, the segments didn't get much time, and I don't need a mic, motherfucker. The segments didn't get too much time, and the matches, again, didn't get too much time. There's no promo segments there to really help any storylines. The main event wasn't very good. You know, a lot of pointless filler in there, which we usually see from SmackDown, especially with their writers. You know, I didn't like SmackDown this week. There was a lot of segments there, but just a lot of them, very few of them were effective, weren't they?
They were just pointless, so it weren't the best SmackDown this week.
I'd say C-, maybe even D. I mean, I'm really not happy with the way WWE represented their product this week, especially with Raw, and I'm just really disillusioned at the moment with SmackDown as well. It's just not really giving me much, especially seeing as I think that it was better than Raw, but not by fucking much.
No, it was.
Ender, you take us out now with the outro.
So please, guys, share your thoughts about this not great, SmackDown in the comment section below. And that's been it from the British Fist Catching. And that's been it from Mr. Pocket and Enya.